Well, hello and welcome to this foundational wellness workshop. My name is Tanya Gottrell. I am a wellness advocate, educator, and teacher with doTERRA, and we are going to dive into some of the latest and greatest and most interesting science today. It is really good information. So hang on to your hats, grab a pen and paper if you want to really retain this. I really suggest doing that because the information I'm going to share with you today is really pretty groundbreaking, and yet we're going to simplify it. I like to try to teach to like a fifth grade level because it just gets overwhelming to hear all of the science and know, well, what do I do with that, right? So today I'm going to give you amazing science, but I'm also going to give you really simple strategy. So it's going to be easy to understand, and you're going to know by the end of our time today exactly what simple step to take that is going to have the biggest impact on your health, on your wellness goals. I think you're going to really like what you hear. So we are going to tackle something called foundational wellness. This is actually kind of a new approach to health that underscores the importance of preparing the body. So think of it like a farmer who is planting seeds. He needs to prepare the soil first. Okay. So we're going to think about the body like that, like how a farmer prepares the soil. This is the essential first step towards achieving optimal health. So I'm going to start off with showing you this really helpful diagram. This is the framework that we use at doTERRA to create health and well-being from the foundational level. Like everything kind of fits into this diagram and it simplifies the whole strategy of how to achieve your best health when you think about this diagram. This is like a reliable roadmap for holistic well-being. It starts with nutrition and digestion. That's down at that foundational level. And we really prioritize that level of nutrition as the groundwork to be laid. That's the soil that you're preparing for a vibrant and thriving life. So if you're like me, you probably approached we learned how to approach our health from the top down. We didn't realize we were doing that. I didn't know. But what I would do is if I would have a health issue come up, I would turn to a pill or some kind of medical care first. And I've learned how to do it differently. I've learned how to teach other people how to do it differently. And I've worked with a lot of people across 12 years. And what I see time and time again is when people learn how to work from the bottom up, honestly, many of their health issues disappear. And then they don't need to rely on synthetics or appointments so much. There's absolutely a time and a place for that, but we like to reduce our reliance on that. So health of an organism or our body starts at the cellular level. Let's take a look at what makes up our body as an organism. All matter is made of atoms, and atoms make up molecules. Molecules make up cells. Cells make up tissues. Tissues make up organs, and organs make up systems. And then those systems make up our body. I want to really drill down on the cells. See, it's circled there on the slide. Cells are the foundation of health. So how do we have healthy cells so that we have healthy tissues, organs, systems, and a body and a vibrant life? Well, cells require something to function well and to be healthy. Science calls them cofactors. We call them vitamins and minerals. Here we can see the intricacy and beauty. I just think it's amazing of a few popular, commonly understood vitamins and minerals under a microscope. Without adequate amounts of these, our cells honestly can't function correctly. And we experience things like dysfunction, disease, a lot of negative symptoms that can cause obstacles and hurdles in our day-to-day lives. And often people don't realize that the things they're struggling with is they're missing these cofactors. So let's run through one example of how this actually plays out practically and how these cofactors affect how we're living. So we're going to look at this diagram of a hemoglobin molecule. It is made up of 4 chains, 2 alpha chains and 2 beta chains. Each of these make up something called a heme group. Notice there's a little tiny molecule of iron tucked into each heme group. Iron is a mineral. Without iron, our cells can't make hemoglobin, and we need hemoglobin to help our red blood cells carry oxygen to every tissue in the body. So iron here is the cofactor that helps our red blood cells do their job. When we don't have enough iron, then we don't get enough oxygen to cells. And I have had this issue come up in my life before. Maybe you have as well. What happens, and it happened to me, is I started to have symptoms. So when people don't have enough oxygen to their cells, they tend to have symptoms like intense fatigue, headaches, confusion, restlessness, rapid heart rate, rapid respiratory rate, difficulty breathing, anxious feelings, hypoxia, and the list goes on. So the good news is that our bodies are made to work and function really well when they have the vitamins and minerals that they need. However, the problem is that most people, honestly, today are really deficient in many critical and important vitamins and minerals. So if, keyword if here, we were able to easily get what we needed from the food that we eat, then we honestly wouldn't be having this conversation today. I wouldn't need to teach this class. But the reality is many of our foods that we eat are void of the nutrients we need. Even if we're nutritionally conscious or we eat organic, all of those things. Honestly, our soils are even depleted of essential minerals. And today's healthy foods are just different from the historic diets that your genes are programmed for. So for thousands of years, there's been something called agricultural breeding going on. And the goal of that is to improve the yield and the taste. Since many micronutrients honestly just don't taste that good, they have been inadvertently bred out of our food. So think about apples. Have you ever seen the picture? I don't have it up for you, but of wild apples as they once were readily available versus the apples you get at the grocery store, they look totally different. They're small, they're flat, they don't look as like delicious. Well, those natural wild apples have about 100 times more phytonutrients and much more vitamin C in them than the apples that you can get at the grocery store, even the, organic apples from the best farm you can find. That is just one example of honestly what has happened to our entire food supply. So let's look at how this affects our nutrition levels. We'll look at some stats here. According to the Environmental Working Group, most American adults fall far below the EAR, and that stands for Estimated Average Recommended Levels for key nutrients. 95% of US adults age 19 up are deficient in vitamin D. 94% are deficient in vitamin E. 61% are deficient in magnesium. The results of these deficiencies vary by person, but they're significant. They're significant. Like, people are not feeling well and they don't understand why. Some of the common things that come up from deficiencies are things like inflammation, headaches, lack of sleep, foggy thinking, lack of energy, digestive issues. The statistics out there, the phrase out there is, in the world of medicine, poor nutrition, inadequate nutrition is the #1 cause of poor health. And that is why smart supplementation is critical. So we need to choose supplements that work. That's a critical part of the equation. Let's take a peek at the supplement industry. A study, these are a little disturbing. I just was horrified when I read this. A study by the FDA from 2007 to 2016 detected contaminants in 776 dietary supplements on the store shelf. That's produced, it's not coming from like 1 or 2 companies. That's produced by 146 different companies. There's contaminants in there. And a study of 3 leading memory supplements found that 2 of them didn't even contain the active ingredient listed in the label. The supplement industry is honestly not heavily regulated, at least not in the US. They contain a lot of fillers and not much of the actual ingredient. But I do have good news for you today. This workshop is not just about bad news. We're actually going to talk about solutions. And I want to introduce you to a couple core hero products. They're simple foundational tools that, for me, they took the overwhelm out of figuring out the nutrition and filling in all of those gaps. And I really am excited to share them with you. So the first one I'm going to introduce to you, this is a hero product called VMG Plus. This is like, I think, the core product when you're looking at your health to really, really pay attention to. VMG stands for vitamins, minerals, and greens. This is a nutritional powder that you mix with water to make a really delicious mango pineapple flavored drink. It dissolves completely and it really does taste delicious. But even more importantly, it's designed to completely optimize foundational wellness. VMG is packed with over 90 premium ingredients, including whole food vitamins and minerals, and then actual fruits, vegetables, enzymes, and other essential nutrients. So it's like your multivitamin and your greens all in one plus more. The creation of VMG was really a redefining of the concept of the daily multivitamin. There's nothing else like this, to be honest, on the market. It's cutting edge. It just came out this last year, and it's incredible. I'm going to explain to you what makes it so special in the next several slides here. So the first is that you can be assured that all the vitamins come from food. Most supplements on the market utilize synthetic vitamins, which are really problematic. They don't work as well. In some cases, they actually cause a lot of problems in the body. They also don't absorb well. And a lot of people, I was one of those, I was spending money on vitamins and I was flushing them down the toilet. Literally, you end up flushing them down the toilet. They go right through you. When you drink VMG, your body will receive those nutrients in the same way it receives nutrients that it gets from food, but like really good nutrients, not those depleted ones. There are two really important factors that set VMG apart from all other supplements, and those are bioavailability and bioretention. So let me explain what those long words mean. Bioavailability is just a fancy way of saying absorption. When these nutrients reach your small intestines, the body absorbs them at an incredible level so that your cells are able to utilize them well. Now, VMG was formulated with a special blend of essential oils. We're an essential oil company at doTERRA. Those essential oils actually work together to increase the absorption of the nutrients in the product. It's an incredible effect that it has. In fact, they ran a clinical trial and they tested the bioavailability, the absorption. They measured this formula of VMG without that blend added in, and then they measured it once they added that bioavailability tongue twister, bioavailability blend in. The results were astonishing. With this addition, called the bioavailability blend, it increased the absorption of the nutrients over 400%. 400%. They also tested the blood at time intervals after consuming the VMG. They did it for 8 hours. And usually when you take a supplement, it's in the blood and then it's out. It just sort of like processes through and metabolizes really fast. With VMG, those nutrients stayed in the blood and they continued to stay in the blood all the way up to that 8-hour mark. They were still there, ready for the cells to utilize them. That is astounding. That's off the charts. And they said they're going to continue to try to do some testing beyond the 8-hour mark to see just how long they're staying in there so your body can use them. This is literally unheard of in the supplement industry. And it means your cells receive a much bigger impact than they get with any other supplement. Even if the nutrient amount is listed at larger, we really have to understand this absorption issue. So the essential oil blend, that's this bioavailability blend, is the driving force behind the successful delivery of critical nutrients to your cells. But there's another technology added that also plays a big part. This is called the liposomal technology. This means that nutrients are microencapsulated with a lipid barrier that allows them to be protected so they're not getting especially like water erosion, and they're delivered more effectively into the bloodstream and into the cells. So between those two things, that's why we have these astounding results. So we're going to actually look at a comparison here because there are much bigger factors to consider aside from just the quantities listed on the label. In fact, you may find another supplement that has the same or even higher amounts of certain vitamins listed on their label, and like more isn't always better. You want to get into the right zone. And so this has to be a complex formulation where you have the right high amount, but also that ratio of absorption gets you in that targeted range, right? So let's take a look at calcium specifically when compared to some other, well, 3 leading supplements on the market. Have you ever heard of AG1? Very, very popular green drink product that's heavily marketed as a complete nutritional product. It also has fruits and vegetables and greens plus your nutrition. And the nutrition label is impressive. I'll be honest, it's impressive. Unfortunately, many consumers don't realize that it's loaded with synthetics in the formula, and the high quantities on the label don't necessarily mean that it will deliver the nutrition adequately to the cells. So you can see here, just with calcium alone, look at VMG, it actually had a 100% absorption rate of calcium, whereas the AG1, less than 10% of the calcium in that product was actually absorbed, and less than 18% from the product Power Greens. So that's a big takeaway here, that bioavailability matters. Now let's look at, what are we at here? Vitamin C. The vitamin C absorption levels. Here we're not comparing brands. We're comparing the VMG product without the liposomal delivery and with. Okay, we're going to test it with and without, the two different versions of the formula. The one that we have to consume today has it in there, but this is what the test revealed. On vitamin C, with that liposomal technology added, it absorbed over 4 times. That's over 400%. Vitamin E, that liposomal technology increased the absorption over 500%. And iron, remember, we're talking about those heme groups and your hemoglobin and all of that, over 600% higher absorption. That's why this is something I will never stop using, because my body needs, it has a hard time absorbing iron, but I do well on this. So this next point is a simple one, but it's important to a lot of people. Have you ever heard of something called supplement fatigue? A lot of people just simply get tired of having to swallow a lot of pills and capsules. So by using this delicious liquid formula, a lot of people are finding this is so much easier. It's more enjoyable. It's a simple way to get their vitamins in. It's a quick and easy. It's just a little sachet of powder you mix up in it. Honestly, I'm very picky about, I have sensory issues. I'm very picky about taste and texture. This dissolves completely. It's so smooth, and it honestly tastes like a delicious smoothie, a green smoothie. It's really, really good. It's pineapple mango flavored. It's awesome. There's another important, this is really important, factor in VMG. This unique formula contains pre-methylated vitamin Bs. What does that mean? Have you ever heard of something called an MTHFR gene mutation? Now, if you haven't, you're not alone. If you have, you know why this is a big deal. But if you haven't, you're not alone. It's fine. I'll give you a quick summary and tell you why this matters. So MTHFR is an enzyme essential for processing certain vitamin Bs. Okay, and because you need vitamin Bs, you need several of them, and converting them into forms that the body can actually use effectively. If you have a mutation, an MTHFR gene mutation, this enzyme is compromised. It hinders the metabolism of these B vitamins. It means your body just can't use them. So it's like you're really deficient, right? This often causes problems, all kinds of problems in people that they don't even realize their body isn't getting what their needs. I know for sure this affects my family, and we had some significant problems show up until we figured this out and realized, oh, it's this lack of usage of vitamin B that's tripping us up. But here's the kicker. This mutation impacts at least 40% of the population. Some believe it's much higher than that. And the people that have it, about 90% of them are totally unaware of it. That's where pre-methylated B vitamins come into play. These vitamins are already in their active, ready-to-use forms. And if you don't have that mutation, it's totally fine to take them in this form too. But if you have that mutation, it's essential that you take them in that form. It makes them more easily absorbed and used. Your body can actually use them, especially for people with MTHFR mutation. VMG includes these pre-methylated B vitamins, ensuring the best absorption and effectiveness for everyone, but particular benefit for those who need it most. And you might not even know that you're one of those. So it's just important to cover your bases and make sure you're taking pre-methylated B vitamins. Okay, so all the science is so interesting and compelling, but let's talk about a couple of testimonials, because how is it affecting people? When someone starts feeling better, that speaks volumes. This testimonial came through from someone. My 74-year-old mom has been drinking VMG Plus for 3 weeks, and she's never felt better. She was always tired, and she had a hard time getting up in the morning because she was sluggish and not motivated. Now she wakes up feeling rested and refreshed with so much energy. She loves this drink. This one said, I knew I needed to take better care of myself. I'm a healthy eater, but with my blood work looking poor, I needed help. I've been researching liquid supplements, and I am so glad to have found doTERRA. I have been on VMG Plus for only 3 weeks, and I feel the difference already. So we're going to change gears now, and we're going to talk about a second solution. And we're going to talk about another important issue called omega fatty acids. Okay, this is omega-3, omega-6, and 9. Really important that you understand this. Now, omega-9s are found in things like olive oil, and our body actually makes it. So we're usually fine in that category. But the ratio between omega-3 and 6 is a major problem to be aware of. Again, it's our food sources that are causing this issue. Ideally, we should have a ratio of about 1-to-1 between these. The typical American has a ratio of 1-to-16. That means that if we aren't adequately supplementing omega-3, most of us are severely low. Omega-3 is a very anti-inflammatory fatty acid, so it's not something to ignore. These illustrations represent cell membranes. So the casing around every cell is composed of lipids or fats. Now, have you ever had a doctor explain to you that you need to be taking a fish oil or an omega-3 in order to keep your joints moving without pain or stiffness? Well, this illustration reveals the reason behind that. So omega-3 is a polyunsaturated fatty acid. When you have adequate amounts, your cell membranes are made up of lipids with these little tails that have kinks in them. That's good. Those kinks give your cells fluidity, and they help you to move without stiffness. It's literally your cell membranes that's making you stiff. Without these, your body builds cell walls out of saturated fats, which are rigid and stiff. So if you're ever wondering why, oh, as I get older, I'm getting stiffer, what's your ratio like on your omega-3s and your omega-6s? Omega-3s really matter when it comes to feeling young and staying active, and it matters for other things too. So let me introduce you to our second hero product, E-Omega Essential Oil Omega Complex. So just like VMC, this absorbs at a very high rate due to the inclusion of essential oils. E-Omega includes one essential oil, wild orange, which has the unique ability to both of aiding the absorption of the omega-3 and also acting as a powerful natural preservative that keeps those lipids fresh and effective. In addition to joint comfort and then maintaining a limber body, E-Omega contributes to a healthy heart, keeping inflammation in check, supporting the brain. This is the biggest thing in my family that I focus on, and especially with having kids and teenagers, supporting brain and nervous system function. It really does impact mood, clarity of thought, whether it's with teenagers or as you're aging, like memory and all of those things. It keeps your digestion flowing and your motility working well, and your respiratory function and your skin healthy. With the inclusion of wild orange essential oil, testing revealed a 454% increase of absorption of omega-3s. Let me show you how this played out actually in a trial, a study. The results were astounding. So doTERRA looked at test kit data. You can test your omega-3s. It's just a test that a little blood test that you send in. And they tested a large cross-section of those who had started taking this daily. The results were astounding. Participants had their blood tested prior to starting on E-Omega, and then they were tested again after 6 weeks of being on this E-Omega product. 100% of the participants had remarkable improvement in their omega-3 levels. Many of these participants were previously taking an omega-3 supplement. A lot of them taking the original older version of the omega-3 supplement from doTERRA, but this newer improved formulation offered a profound improvement. So we've been talking about two smart supplementation tools that work together to give you foundational nutrition: the VMG, vitamins, minerals, and omegas, or vitamins, minerals, and greens, and the omega-3 fatty acids. But there's one more component we need to look at for a complete foundation of health, and that's the microbiome. The microbiome it's the community of microorganisms that live in or on the human body. You have them everywhere. These microorganisms include bacteria, fungi, other pathogens. You hear like a good bacteria, that's what we're talking about here. A healthy microbiome is important because it helps with many bodily functions, including digestion, immune system control, nutrient breakdown, mental health, all kinds of crazy things. Did you know, here's a fun fact to share with your kids, because this is kind of a fun conversation around the dinner table. Do you know that you're actually more microbiome than you are human? That's right. Most people don't realize this. There are about 100 trillion cells in the human microbiome. These are separate organisms. They're not you. 100 trillion of these microorganism cells of different species in the body, and 32 trillion human cells. So 100 trillion versus 32 trillion. we're more microbiome than we are human. Most people think about the gut when they think about the microbiome. They're like, oh, it's in your gut. And it is. That's very important. That's a very important component here. But your microbiome exists throughout your body and even in your lungs, on your skin, in your mouth, in all kinds of places. Your microbiome has important functions like digesting food, educating and supporting the immune system. Like it literally instructs your immune cells like what to do. Preventing pathogens from invading and infecting. It's a barrier. It literally takes up space in your body so that the bad organisms can't proliferate as well. And it makes vitamins that your body can't make itself. These microorganisms make them, and it supports the nervous system by making neurotransmitters, dopamine and serotonin. So when I say it affects mental health, yeah, it really does. Okay, so what's the solution here that we're looking at? It's one simple capsule called PB Restore Probiome Complex. This is such a unique capsule. This is what it looks like up close. You only need to take one per day because there's so much packed into this tiny little capsule. It's in a duo chamber. And you can see that there's a capsule inside of a capsule here with like a liquid kind of surrounding it. Now the outer capsule it's enteric coated. That means it passes through the stomach without being eroded by the stomach acid, which I hate to tell you, if you've ever been on a probiotic before, I'm sorry to tell you that very little of the live organisms likely made it into your small intestines where they need to populate because the stomach acid just kills the majority off. But this is the solution to that. This is able to stay intact until it reaches the small intestine where it is finally dissolved and the contents are released. So it can populate there and then it can work its way through your body and populate throughout. So this is not your average probiotic supplement. Each capsule contains what we call the 4 Ps. You don't have to know all this information, but I'll give you a quick picture. Look for the P words on this slide. The first you've heard of, probiotics. This capsule actually, it's very high level of probiotics. So 10 billion CFUs, and that means colony forming units, specifically from 24 different strains from 22 species. That's very high if you do a comparison to others out there. Then you've got prebiotics. These are indigestible fibers that feed the helpful organisms so they adequately populate. So you've got the organisms and you've got food for the organisms so that they can flourish and start populating. And then postbiotics. A lot of people don't know what postbiotics are. Well, they actually protect the gut barrier. They regulate gut motility. They support healthy weight and insulin resistance. They protect against neurodegenerative diseases, and they deliver a lot of other positive benefits that I don't have time to go over with you today, but it's pretty amazing what they do. And then you've got phages. That's the 4th P. These help to maintain a healthy bacterial balance. They're actually selective. I mean, this is just so amazing. Biology is so amazing. They can select out and encourage the healthy growth of good bacteria while attacking the bad. These are some fascinating results from a 6-week clinical trial of this product. Statistically improvements were seen from every participant in the trial, every participant. The red bar shows the level of gut dysfunction. So we're looking for a reduction here because this is sort of looking at the negative, okay? And so dysfunction and life interference that they were experiencing before starting on PB Restore. And then the white bar shows the reduction of those negative factors in their gut health. For example, we see a great reduction in the need to avoid certain foods. That's kind of in the middle there, that highest bar. We've also seen a great reduction in the avoidance of social activities because, yeah, you're not going to go to the party if you're always in the bathroom, right? These improvements make a massive difference in the quality of life for so many people. Now, it's important to remember that gut health is not the only function that's impacted by improving your microbiome. Your immune system is primarily centered in the gut as is the production of neurotransmitters for mental health. So PB Restore often brings a significant positive impact to immune function, mental health, emotional health, as well as digestive health. And even if you don't struggle with gut discomfort or problems, your microbiome can't be ignored. It's very important. It's amazing how balancing the microbiome has profound effects on a variety of health issues. I'm actually going to show you a couple of testimonials on how it affects when you actually get your microbiome balanced on your skin. This first testimonial is from me. So I'm going to be a little transparent with you and share. And I have been living a wellness lifestyle for years. I'd been fighting with a very stubborn wart on the top of this thumb right here, right below my nail for 2 years. I tried everything natural because I've used oils before to get rid of them. Didn't work this one time. It was so weird. I tried conventional, I tried burning it off. I tried everything, you guys. I tried the apple cider vinegar. I tried everything and it didn't work. It just continued to grow and get very large, and it was very risen. It was becoming painful. It was hitting on things. It was really driving me crazy. And it was embarrassing. It was right out there. It was like really visible. I switched to my probiotic to PB Restore, and I was literally shocked. Within 2 weeks, it had completely shriveled up and just gone. It was gone after 2 weeks. And I realized, oh my goodness, it was a microbiome issue. I needed to improve my barrier and my immune function. And once I had the right good organisms on my skin coming through from the inside, it just kicked that wart out of my system. And I knew, wow, my microbiome is improving greatly. And then I read this other testimony that came in from another wellness advocate. Their customer sent this, and I was like, yeah, there is something big behind this. She said, I have a customer who had a couple of little warts on her hands and one on her foot. She started taking PB Restore 2 months ago, and her little warts are gone. She hasn't put anything else on them. That is happening throughout your whole body. The amount of, microbiome balance is just astounding. Okay, so here's your foundational nutritional solution all together. This is what it looks like. It's 3 products, and you're just going to use them together every day, and they're so easy to use. So every day you're going to mix up your VMG sachet, and you're going to just do a nice yummy green drink. And then you're going to take, in fact, if you want to look at me on the camera, here's my E omegas. You're going to take 3 of these. You can swallow them like a pill. They're kind of large though. So a lot of us, what we like to do, these are chewable. I'm going to actually show you. You can pop them in your mouth, and it's marine, it's fish oil. And so I just thought, oh, gross, I'm not doing that. That's so weird. I just tried it. It's so good. I do this every day. So I'll just show you with one. You just bite it. It squirts into your mouth. It's a delicious orange taste, and you can chew up the shells, swallow them, chew them up, chew them like gum, or just spit them out. I do that with 3. It's so fast. Drink my drink. I bite those, I spit out the shells. And the third step is to take 1 tiny PB Restore capsule that are very small, just one. Any time of the day, just 1 a day. That's it. That's your daily foundational routine. You will be healthier than the majority of the population if you do these simple steps. It's simple to do, but you give your body a profound and complex positive result. But you might be wondering, what about essential oils? I mean, it's a great question. After all, doTERRA is the world's largest essential oil company. They are the most tested and trusted essential oil company. So it's kind of important to know, well, where do they fit in? They are an important part of addressing your health goals. However, the oils you choose to use, they're going to be different. Like everyone's got their different solutions depending on their health goals and what's going on. So we call this targeted wellness. So this is kind of the customizable piece to your health plan, right? You've learned about foundational supplements, those 3 I showed you. Here you see doTERRA's 13 foundational essential oils. And these are the most versatile and frequently used oils. There's a lot of other ones, but they're going to be used for more obscure things, more specific things. These are like, take a screenshot of this, because this is the collection that you want to build up first in your home. You're going to want to focus on these. They're powerful tools that you want at your disposal. So you have them when you need them, even in the middle of the night. So how does it all fit together? Your nutrition, your oils. There's actually some really cool science behind this. This is kind of new, groundbreaking science, actually, to understand this. So I want you to pay attention, because it really, really unlocks the most powerful benefits in your health. Every function in your body is a result of a metabolic pathway that occurs at a microscopic level. I'll explain what that means in a sec. Essential oils turn on the pathway like starting the ignition to a car. Nutrition fuels the pathway like putting gas in the fuel tank. So you're going to need smart supplementation because you need your tank full. That's why we went over those 3 products. However, your body is going to be a much more effective and efficient machine when you also incorporate essential oils into your day. So now I told you this workshop was going to be like a 5th grade level, like really simple to understand. And it is. So don't worry, I'm all about simple. You might laugh a little bit when I share the next slide though, but stick with me. I'll make it make sense. I promise. So when I first started learning about pathways from doctors talking about it, I was a little confused. I'm like, back it up, because I don't really understand what you mean when you say pathway. And then I finally understood it. So I want to show you how it helped me understand. So what is a pathway? Well, this is a pathway. So that's why I said you'd laugh, because it's not simple, right? Far from simple. This is specifically an immune system pathway. So what is it? You don't have to understand it. That's the great thing. Your body knows what it's doing, but it does need a little help so it can do its job well. So a pathway is a sequence. It's a sequence of little microscopic metabolic functions and reactions and responses that happen inside the body to create a positive outcome. So I like to think of this like the game Mousetrap, where one action then triggers the next action, and then the microscopic mechanisms perform a chain reaction to cause a set of complex functions in the body. Remember, you need adequate nutrition to fuel this process so that it runs. But essential oils play a powerful role as well, because they signal the pathway. Let me show you an example of how this actually works. We're going to look at this immune system pathway. So let's just look at some of the things your foundational supplements do. You've got your omega-3s. They support the immune system. They integrate into cell membranes, remember, of immune cells too, which influences their function and makes them act as anti-inflammatory agents. The omega-3s regulate the immune response too. Regulate, meaning make it work, but don't make it work too much so you have an autoimmune issue. Vitamin C is a powerful antioxidant and powerful anti-inflammatory. It strengthens our immune system. Did you know your body actually can't manufacture or store vitamin C? So you do have to actually take it regularly. Vitamin D regulates the immune response again. It's also important for bone health, which affects your immune system. If you're deficient in vitamin D, you have an increased risk of infection. You have an increased risk of autoimmune diseases and metabolic issues. So keep that level up. That's really important. Vitamin A, how does it impact the immune response and pathway? Well, it supports the maintenance of the cells of the skin and the respiratory tract, which act as a physical barrier against pathogens. And then you have vitamin E. That's an antioxidant that helps fight off infections. It also helps our T cells work optimally. And then, of course, your healthy microbiome, which we just talked about. It stimulates immune cell development. And remember, I told you it educates the immune cells to do their job well. It actually tells them what to do. The list goes on and on. But this gives you an idea of how each component plays a role in the immune pathway. But now we have the essential oil. So recent research has revealed something really crazy. A published study revealed, I'm actually going to jump to the bottom of it just for the sake of time, because it talked about immune modulation, tissue remodeling, inflammation. It said the overall inhibitory effect of On Guard on these protein biomarkers suggests that it has anti-inflammatory and immune modulating properties. But here's the kicker. I want you to really hear this. Further analysis showed that On Guard robustly affected signaling pathways related to immune function and cell cycle control. That's the ignition, that key turning on the ignition of that pathway. So On Guard turns on the pathway, and then all of your foundational supplements give the nutritional fuel for that pathway to work optimally. One of our physicians at doTERRA put it this way: if the pathway of the immune system is not functioning optimally, then the nutrients simply go to waste. You've given the system gas, but you haven't turned on the pathway. That's where the essential oils come in. It's important to note that not any essential oil on the shelf, if you run out to a store, is going to work. You need to know this for safety and effectiveness. doTERRA really is the most trusted and tested for a reason. That's why we're seeing these show up in hospitals and clinics. Okay, there's a reason. It's because of their efficacy. So in an independent study conducted by Roseman University, not associated with doTERRA, this is what they found. They tested doTERRA essential oils and other essential oils on the market. They found that doTERRA oils specifically were found to be therapeutically relevant in cell growth and rejuvenation, metabolic health, that includes pathway function, right? And healthy inflammatory responses. In addition, essential oils from other competitors had minimal effects. They concluded that the therapeutic potential of essential oils is highly dependent on the complete composition of the oil. It matters. Sourcing, processing, and characterization are critical. Now let's take a look at what makes doTERRA different and in a league of their own in the essential oil industry. The oils are pure. There's no fillers, no synthetics, no dilution. The sourcing really matters. They come from oils from plants grown. The oils come from plants grown in their ideal environments. This makes a difference in the chemical profile and the effectiveness of the oil. So wherever that plant grows at its best, that's where we go at doTERRA and create sourcing farming partnerships. Every batch of oil is tested for ideal chemistry and consistency, and that's actually over 54 tests done on each batch of essential oils from the farmer all the way to the consumer. And so they can be used topically, aromatically, and internally. That's unique to doTERRA because of the purity level. Many of the oils can be used internally. People turn to doTERRA because they want safe, affordable, and effective solutions for their family's health. So another factor that sets these oils apart, well, I just mentioned it, but it's the sourcing. What I want you to know, though, is there's a huge humanitarian piece to this. Not only do you get the oil from a plant that is grown in its ideal climate, wherever it grows on the planet, that's where we're going to go get that sourcing partnership made. They use a sourcing initiative that is an incredible above fair trade model called co-impact sourcing. And it's doTERRA's mission to pursue what's pure, including just knowing that from the moment you use that doTERRA product, you're making an impact on what we call both sides of the bottle. It's impacting you, but it's also impacting those growers clear across the world in a community across the world. And my husband and I have had opportunities to go on sourcing trips and work with sourcing farmers, and we have seen the impact, and it's the real deal, you guys. It's the real deal. It's pretty important. So what does this look like to pair foundational supplements with essential oils for other targeted needs? I'm going to show you a quick few examples so that it makes sense to you. So just a few common things. Let's say you need to improve your sleep. You need to fall asleep faster, stay asleep, get better quality of sleep. You would start with your foundational supplements, and then you're going to add your targeted solution as an essential oil-based solution with our Serenity Sleep System. It's a stick you apply on. It's a capsule that you take with oils and some really great other natural herbs and components, and then the oil you put in your diffuser beside your bed. It has a powerful impact on your sleep quality and quantity. In fact, there was an incredible epigenetic clinical trial that revealed astounding data on the benefits of supporting sleep with this system in particular. Participants in this, get this, it's only a 6-week trial. In 6 weeks, they showed a 7-year drop in the biological age of their brains. Sleep really matters. It's incredible that we can reverse age our brains when we pair essential oils with foundational nutrition to create a higher quality of sleep every night. Another example would be if you deal with stress or anxiousness, you might want to incorporate this targeted solution of balance and adaptive essential oil blends. They're very, very powerful. If you have pain, joint stiffness pain, then of course your omegas are going to help, but you want some targeted relief. Deep Blue, I like the stick form that also comes in a cream or an oil, and copaiba oil is a great way to address, just layer these two. Well, there's a little copaiba in the Deep Blue stick too. Really great targeted issue. You can take that copaiba internally and it's a great help as well. If you have particular digestive issues, then you might want to target with some digestin oil and Terrazyme, which are enzymes, to just really laser focus on your digestive health as you pair it with those nutritional foundational supplements. In addition to On Guard for immune support, we love using Breathe for that respiratory support. If you're feeling stuffy or congested, you're going to love Breathe. If you really want to look at blood sugar and glucose issues, then the MetaPower system is a wonderful addition. That has been a great one for me. Really has transformed my body composition, my blood sugar. I used a monitor. I saw a 63%. I was trying to remember 63 or 64. I'll just go with 63% reduction in high glucose events. That's what my monitor told me after being on the MetaPower system for 3 weeks. I tested before and after. It was incredible. Okay, so we're going to head into the final part of the workshop. But I want to go back and reflect on this. Remember this? Well, let me show you how that works with products. So this is kind of, you would fit your products in and your solutions in to these layers. It's going to look different for everyone. It's not that you have to use all of these all the time, but your foundational supplements are going to fit in that bottom level. And then you know, if you're like, I need some help with rest, then the Serenity oil and some of those products might fit in rest and stress. But this is the way you kind of work through the puzzle of your health, you know, and then you work from the bottom up. But then those targeted solutions, think of it as peeling an onion. You can work on your wellness goals by priority in layers. And we're here to support you all the way. And I'm always happy to answer questions. Now, if you're like me, you're probably wondering, well, what do these products cost? I'm a really frugal person and I like to be on budget. So I have some good news for you. First, doTERRA has strategically bundled nutrition into fewer products, which allows you to take a lot of nutrition in fewer, easier steps, but also with fewer dollars. Let's look at a comparison here. If you were to build the same protocol with individual supplements that covers all the same categories that VMG encompasses, then you'd pay at least $250. VMG, however, is $89.50 and it's going to deliver higher quality and absorption. So it's a no-brainer for me. But I get it if that's still a little out of your budget. Maybe you don't have a supplement category in your budget, and so you're trying to think through incorporating that. Then I want to know in a couple minutes, I'm going to actually show you a slide that has my favorite tips and tricks that have helped. It's just budget saving tricks, because there are some that help people on tight budgets afford what they need. So get ready to screenshot that when it comes up. First, I want to let you know that you need to use a discount code link to get things at wholesale cost. That $89.50 price I gave you on that is the wholesale price. Okay, and I'm going to put the link to get that in the description here. So you can go find that. Using that link is going to unlock a 25% discount. And once you place your first order, you'll have access to a wholesale shopping account that anytime you log in, you'll just automatically get that. Don't go to the main site. You'll pay the full price. Nobody really shops that way. Everyone gets a wholesale account. It's just kind of how we do it. It's normally a $35 fee to get that account, but with that link, you get it for free for a year. And then the renewal's really inexpensive. It's like $25 and you get like a $30, an oil that's worth like $30 for free when you do it. So it's easy to stay on it and there's no strings attached, no ordering obligations, anything. So you want to do that. If you get your foundational wellness bundle, the VMG plus the E Omega and the PB Restore, they bundle that for a discounted price. Then if you add whatever targeted products you want, reach out to me and I'll help you figure out which ones. As long as whatever your first order is, if it reaches 150 in product value or higher, then you also get a free gift and you get to choose between these three choices: a pebble diffuser for your oils to use them aromatically, a hand soap, but the natural hand soap, or our natural whitening toothpaste duo, both flavors. You choose whatever you want. Most people go for that diffuser. That's my recommendation. I think it's great, but you get to pick. You get to pick whichever one you want. Also, doTERRA just released this week. If it's your first time ordering that foundational wellness bundle, you actually get this free gift with it. You only get it one time, but you get it with your first order. And it's a really nice glass shaker bottle so that you can easily blend it up. And because shaking, it's the easiest way to mix it up. And then you get a peppermint essential oil for free. So you get a free diffuser or whatever gift you pick, a peppermint oil and your shaker bottle. Use that link so you get the discount and you get all this free stuff. Okay. All right. Here's my budget friendly tips. You'll want to screenshot as I get these up on the screen. So let's say you order through that discount link, you get your wholesale cost there, and now you have a wholesale membership. Well, whenever you reorder, I'm going to recommend that you do it through a rewards card. And that just lets you to pick products that you want to be on regularly that you're going to just order each month. And you can always change it each month and you can always cancel. There's no strings attached. But when you order it through the special shopping cart called rewards, you earn 10 to 30 points back on all your rewards. And the longer you do it, the higher that percentage grows until you lock in at 30. And that's the VIP status. Every month you order on this program, this rewards shopping cart, if you're ordering foundational wellness or any products that are at a certain level, you get the free product of the month, which is one of the top foundational oils, and they rotate through. So you can actually build that oil collection for free across the year. It's kind of amazing. Plus you get these points back and you can cash them out like dollars for products. So I get a lot of my products for free through points because I get 30%. and I get the free product of the month. So that greatly reduces your overall cost. That's one tip. Your second tip, so when you have a wholesale customer account, you also get a discount link you can share with friends. It's called Refer a Friend. You just have this link, and anytime you're telling someone like, yeah, you should try this, you should try these probiotics, you should try this VMG or this essential oil, when they use your link, it gets them their 25% discount, but then you get 20% of what they order loaded onto a digital gift card in your account, and you could spend that like dollars. A lot of people pay for their products that way. And then you do have the option to choose an upgraded version of the account called a Wellness Advocate account, and that's what I have. It's free as well. It doesn't cost you anything more. The discount's the same. The rewards, you still get the rewards points, but instead of sharing your link and earning digital gift card credit, you actually earn like cash. They just send you paychecks and commissions on that, just direct deposit to your bank account. And so we have people that do this, and I train people to do this. I have a team of 50,000 people, and I train a lot of people to reach whatever goal they want, whether it's just shopping and earning some points, or if you want to casually share with people, just to earn enough to pay for your products, we have a way to do that. If you want to take the $500 a month track, pay for your products and have a little extra spending cash, that's a really easy and fun way to do it. And then there's people that go, you know what, I love this. I want to learn how to teach it like you, be intentional about it. And I want to build a side income or a replacement income and build residual income. That has been a life-changing option for me. It's been my full-time job and our family's main income for 12 years. So lots of options there for you to consider. You just reach out and say what you're interested in, and I'll get you the info to take a look at. Okay, we have training and support for all of this. So just know there's more info, and we have a whole class on the Wellness Advocate account option. If you'd like to see that, reach out and I will get you a link to that. I want you to know that we have a lot of deep dive workshops on our doTERRA community, in our doTERRA community. Any kind of health topic you want to deep dive into, like sleep, metabolic, maybe respiratory, pain, oils for kids, pets, pregnancy, mental health, whatever. We have a whole library of them. So reach out and I'll get you a pre-recorded class so that you can learn. But you'll want to be in our Facebook community called Drop by Drop. I'll put the link in the description as well, because that way you can see links to upcoming wellness classes and you can invite people to them. Earn some digital gift card credit for inviting your friend, and then we'll tell them to go use their friend's link. That's you. You'll get a lot of product support in this group too. You can ask questions, search keywords, all of that. So that's all. I just want to thank you so much. Oh, there's our there's our wellness community Drop by Drop. You can use the QR code, or I'll just go to the description and the link will be there so you can request to join. I want to thank you for coming and learning with me today. You can find me on all socials, Tanya Cottrell, and reach out to me and I would be happy to help you get started. There's also the discount ordering link in the description that'll help you get started as well. Thanks so much for joining me today.